Okay, hello, welcome. I'm doing carnivore Monday through Thursday, but back to carbs on the weekends. Is this a sustainable way to keep weight balance? Okay, so very good details that this person shared. Monday through Thursday, carnivore, weekends, carbs, but this person weight balance. Okay, so we should all keep that in mind. What do you guys think? Is this sustainable? Todd, I'll start with you.
Well, I mean, I think it depends on if you have a carb addiction or not. So for me, that would never be sustainable because I would just that would turn into one heck of a long weekend. I can tell you that if I started doing that. So I would say no. But if you, if you're not a carb addict, or if you can, or if you can moderate, then I would think that would be fine. I mean, that was generally my idea because I used to be keto and it wasn't working, and I went to carnivore to try some things, and also my thinking in the back of my head was that if I had to have a cheat day, because I was still a carb addict at that time, but if I had to have a cheat day, I could cheat back to keto, right, and have a little bit of change. But then what I found out was when I was carnivore, I didn't need to have cheat days, and I didn't have carb addiction anymore. So I just stayed here for the last 23 months. So I don't know. I think I think it's probably fine, but I think it would be, if she can handle it. But I think strict carnivore would be better in the long run, in my opinion. But
yeah, no, great thoughts.
So I'm going to give a counter argument to this one. I think this is a metabolic disaster waiting to happen. I think it's the most stressful thing you can do to your body. And you might as well be on standard American diet because you're losing all the benefits on your metabolic health by going back and forth. And you're really putting strain on your pancreas, on your organs. And I wouldn't recommend it. If you're not committed to carnivore, don't do carnivore. Maybe consider keto. I'd rather see you do keto 7 days a week than doing carnivore 4 days and standard American diet 3 days a week. I just think you're playing with fire there, and I think nothing good will come from it. But that's my professional opinion.
Just as a medical
so scary now.
Hear that. Well, I have a follow up for you, Dr. Phil. What if the carbs are keto friendly? For example, some berries. Some.
Yeah, I think if someone's doing a ketogenic diet tightly and versus, still staying keto, I think that's a whole different situation. But I get this, that's not how the question's written. And if you were going to do something like this, I would be keto, and I would keep my keto down to under 20 grams of carbs on those days. And I would cut it to 1 day a week instead of 3 days a week. I mean, you're basically doing 4 days on, 3 days off. And, this is a really loaded question. And metabolically, I think it creates havoc with your adrenal gland, your pancreas, and your gallbladder. And I just think it's not a good pathway for health. I wouldn't recommend it. So,
but this is also, N equals 1. This is an experiment that you might need to have to try yourself and see how it happens, because we can't predict, because we don't know how old you are, and if you're a moderator, or if you, this is something that you might have to try out for 2 weeks and see if you can manage, and to see if it is sustainable for you.
That's true.
I think you're just being kind to Deck. Walking off a cliff is still walking off a cliff.
Right.
Yeah, my question would be, what stops you from trying to do it every day of the week? That would be my question. Is it like a fear thing? Is it a preparation thing? Is it, what society tells you? Like, let us know how we can help you with that, because we answer further questions around that.
There's nothing harmful about being on a ketogenic diet. It's so much healthier than most things out there. And you can do a 20-gram carb ketogenic diet a day, 50 gram. I wouldn't go above 50, but some people count 100 or less. Some people count 200 or less. But if you really want to have those berries and carbs in your diet, I would say just do it more consistently. Your body will tune up better with a consistency of the types of food you're eating, and you're just doing maximum stress. It's like being an ER physician. You're in chaos for 24 hours, and you go home and try to relax, and you're not really relaxing because your adrenal gland's gone full boat.
Boy,
So I'm going to take a really tough love stance on this, because I want you to do what's healthy.
Yeah.
So,
well, here's some more details from Crib that I just caught here. I started with full-time carnivore, but I went back to eating some carbs to the weekends due to social and family appearance.
Right.
So very, very
Yeah.
typical. You're not alone. Yeah.
Yeah, and that happens a lot. And choose your carbs carefully.
Yeah.
And spare.
And prioritize your protein first. Eat those proteins first as much as you can, and then have that little bites to show the social your friends and family that you are eating something if really necessary. But I think also the longer you're carnivore, the more confident you are, and you're like, nah, I don't want it because I'm carnivore. It change. Everyone gets that to that point when you're just that.
Yeah, and you can put the carb food on your plate. Just don't eat it.
Right, don't eat it.
And also pick your carbs carefully. If it has a high glycemic index, like something like mashed potatoes
or rice,
or peas. I mean, those play a lot of havoc. So if you want to eat broccoli or asparagus or maybe avocado, which is a fruit, I mean, these are healthier choices in the carb, and you can maintain it and just tell your family, I'm acquiring a taste for these things, and this is what I want to eat. But if you're loading yourself up with sugary carbs, it will not give you the benefits of carnivore. It will likely play havoc long term over your adrenal and insulin axes.
Yeah,
I would say
go ahead.
Sorry, my favorite carnivore carb is dairy, 100% hands down. If I feel like I need carbs, I'm all about the dairy. I will go and drink a glass of raw milk if I feel like I need a little bit of carbs or something. But it's very, very rare that I feel like I need carbs. But maybe that's where you get your carbs from, is from dairy. That might be a more
great tip,
feasible source.
I want to share a curious experiment for everyone here. Okay, with the social and family appearances, do this. Load up your plate with carbs, with meats, and just like Adek says, play around with the carbs. Don't eat it. But I want you to see if anybody would even notice. And I'll bet you no one will notice.
That's right.
So do that.
Great tip. Yeah, and another tip for anyone who's struggling with this since the holidays are coming. When I was just dating my now husband, Max, and I would go visit his mom. This is a lot of pressure, okay? Because we were seriously dating. I don't want to look like a freak to his mom. I want his mom to love me and have a good impression. So what I did to be as respectful and kind was I brought my own food, and I also cooked for her. So that really says a lot. Any appearance that you go to, bring a charcuterie board. Bring your own meat that you cook, and also offer it for the guests. Yeah.
Love it.
Let's keep going. Oh, okay. So a follow-up from Nav. Thoughts on fermented dairy like yogurt or kefir? Who here eats yogurt or kefir?
I do yogurt.
Okay.
And I was going to say, you should answer about the kefir, Bella, because you're the kefir queen.
Right.
Now,
right.
real quick, everybody in the live chat, just help me clarify here, because I get comments every time I say kefir that I'm saying it wrong, but then when I say kefir, that I'm saying it wrong. So why don't you share with me in the live chat how it is supposed to be said? But I drink kefir every day, and it's really helped me and like my personal muscle building goals. And I'm not trying to look super buff or like a bodybuilder at all. My goal is to just feel stronger. And I know that like by working towards weight lifting and using dumbbells or going to the gym whenever I feel like it consistently, then this is really going to help me feel stronger and get healthier. And kefir has really helped me feel like I can support these workouts. So personally, I have no issues with fermented dairy, especially if it is raw, unpasteurized. Rochelle?
I don't have much experience with kefir, however you say it. I actually haven't found it where I am in Texas, but raw dairy, I have access to raw dairy where I am here in Texas, and I go to town on my dairy. I make my own yogurt. I can make my own sour cream. I've made my own cheese before. I love it. I think the natural probiotics that come in animal milk, the prebiotics, the probiotics, the fat, the vitamins A, D, E, and K, it's just a nutrient dense food, obviously, because it sustains a life. It gives life to, a calf. When a cow gives birth to a calf, that food, that nutrition needs to go to that little one so that it can develop properly. And so it's a 3,000 pound animal at the end of the day that it's nourishing, but I just think it's a very complete whole food. And like I said, if it doesn't bother you, definitely enjoy it. I'm a big dairy fan, huge dairy fan.
Yes. Raymond?
I agree with Rochelle there on that. So that I do have lactose intolerance, so I should be avoiding dairy. And I did do an experiment with raw milk, and I still have a little bit of reaction. It's not so bad. It's just gassy. It's just not fun to be around when I'm, doing that. So, but otherwise than that, I agree. It's a great way to build. It's a great thing to lean on. This is great to even increase your appetite. So there's a lot of benefits to it if you can handle it properly.
Absolutely. So I just wanted to share a website here, realmilk.com. Okay. I just try to repeat this as much as possible. Go to realmilk.com and you can find raw and pasteurized dairy products, dairy farms, and dairy sources near you.